Donald Trump's lawyers aren't just bad at lawyering, they know nothing about national security. I've been stewing on this for over a year when I first heard Alina Habba talk about the Espionage Act as a mundane statute that prosecutors were dredging up to go after the former president. I'll share that clip in a bit, but it's this new one that sent me over the edge. Trump's lawyer says on camera that you, quote, can't just take a classified document. That's actually right. I was a Navy pilot, flew intelligence missions, had a top secret security clearance. Of course you can't just take a classified document. I would have been court-martialed if I'd done that, which is why the Department of Justice needs to hold the former president accountable. Here's the clip.
Ask you this, because typically when you have a case as complicated as the one we're talking about, there is deposition, there is discovery, a whole discovery process where Trump's lawyers will have to get access to the other side's information and vice versa. How long do you expect that process to take? Because Jack Smith says he wants a speedy trial. We are about a year away from an election. Obviously, we're just 2 weeks away from the first GOP primary debate, 2 months away from the Iowa caucuses. Are you expecting to have a trial before election 2024?
I think that that's their goal. I think that realistically, you have to remember that a lot of these cases deal with classified documents and classified records, which mean that all the lawyers now have to apply for special clearance, right? So it's not a normal situation. You can't just take a classified document and review it. You have to have SCIFs. You have to have certain procedures put in place. So while I appreciate Jack Smith trying to bleed us all dry and trying to have a speedy trial, perhaps he should have taken a case that didn't involve classified documents that he now possesses that we have to now repossess and review for discovery. It's a poorly planned attack, frankly, because that's what it is. It's political lawfare. And he didn't think it through. So I think these are going to take a lot longer. I think that once the judges get a breath for how many years they've had this discovery, look at Fannie, 2 years. But she's bringing this case now. Why? Because of election interference. They want to keep him tied up in trials, keep his lawyers tied up so that we're distracted and not focused. It's not going to work. He is a machine, and he knows what he's doing in a campaign. You know, he's done this rodeo before.
All right, we will leave it there.
Now, Trump's lawyer referred to something in that interview called a SCIF. That's a sensitive compartmented information facility. When I was in the Navy, that's where we kept our classified documents, all of them. Not in a bathroom, not in a ballroom. We didn't have ballrooms in the Navy, but even if we did, anyway, just getting into a SCIF was an ordeal. Multiple security layers designed to prevent any unauthorized access. And a shower curtain does not count as a security layer. I spent a lot of time in SCIFs studying enemy orders of battle, reading mission reports, and writing my own after recon flights. Absolutely no personal electronic devices were allowed inside, and any notes taken while studying or writing had to be destroyed before leaving. A mistake, even by accident, would have cost me my career or worse. As I've gotten older, I have noticed that on the occasions when I have an alcoholic drink, I don't bounce back the next morning the way I did when I was younger. Until I discovered ZBiotics. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhDs to tackle mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut where you need it most. Just remember to drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best the next day. The first time I tried ZBiotics was at a wedding. As instructed, I drank a bottle of ZBiotics before any alcohol and was amazed at how I felt the next day. Every time I have a ZBiotics before drinking, it makes such a difference the next day. Even after drinks the night before, I know I'll be able to get back to my daily routine like working out or mowing the lawn. Give ZBiotics a try for yourself. Go to zbiotics.com/boats to get 15% off your first order when you use BOATS at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/boats and use the code BOATS at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this episode. Hey everyone, if you've been watching this show, you've already heard me mention our sponsor, Storied Hats. Thanks to all of you who've already bought one. You know they are top quality hats made in fair trade facilities with sustainable materials. I've got a great new offer for listeners of this show. If you get one hat, it's 15% off. And if you get a second hat, that one is 50% off. Check them out, get a great hat or two, and support both our show and a small business that is doing its part for the planet. Thanks. Here's the most infuriating part of the former president's defense. It's not the bad lawyering. It's not even the total disregard for national security. It's the suggestion that the only reason he's being prosecuted is because he's running for president. No one is above the law. He's being prosecuted, in this case and in the others, because he broke the law. And when it comes to the top secret documents he kept in his bathroom, the idea that he should be given a pass is an insult to all of us who diligently protected the intelligence with which we were entrusted and who in many cases risked our lives to gather it. Here's his lawyer, Alina Habba, again, saying the former president is a victim.
What we're dealing with here, I say it 100 times, if he's not leading in the polls, I've sat across from him every time he gets frustrated. I say to him, Mr. President, if you would like me to resolve all your litigation, you should announce that you are not running for office and all of this will stop. That's what they want. That's what they want.
There's a lot of truth to that.
The irony here is that it is very likely that this lawyer has things exactly backwards. Donald Trump is not being prosecuted because he's running for president, but he very well may be running for president because he's being prosecuted. Because about the only way he can avoid accountability this time is by reclaiming the White House, and that should terrify all of us. We have a good idea of what this man is prepared to do if he feels like he has nothing to lose. All right, I promised you the clip that got me started on all this. An old one, but a good one, as they say. Here's Alina Habba referring to the Espionage Act, one of the laws that keeps our nation safe, as a mundane statute. Enjoy.
And they say themselves in these papers that they filed that this is under the Presidential Records Act. So what they did was to try and criminalize Donald Trump, as they always do. They found these three mundane statutes, espionage and the two others, obstruction, and they're trying to claim that there was some sort of criminal activity, but their papers say it's under the Presidential Records Act. So your admission is the power that we've all been saying he does have. So you can take a picture of top secret documents, Charlie, and show the world a label. But if they're declassified, as he has the right to do, then he has the right to have them. And he was working together with NARA, as we know. And that back and forth could have been done at a table as they had been doing for months prior.
One last thought. There is an upside to the former president having such terrible lawyers. I don't believe he's getting out of this one, provided we, the voters, can keep him out of the White House. He is finally going to pay for his crimes against this country.